Hey, welcome to the studio. I hope you guys are doing well today. I wish I had news. It's nice out. That's kind of cool. Winter seems to be finishing up, and that's kind of cool too. I didn't change anything in my streaming template, so here I am. It's just me, and I'm in my studio. And you're not, but you kind of are. You are like, you're virtually here. I feel like my mic is not loud enough. Hold on one sec. Okay. Oh, is it too loud now? If there's something I'm good at, it's being bad at doing things. So at least there's that. All right, fuck it. Let's move. Let's go here. Let's go to this place. This familiar area of the computer. All right. Let's have a listen. Let's listen to some music. Fuck listening to me. Let's listen to some music. The first one we got is Samantha Was Perfect, all one word. Or is it Samantha Was Perfect, or was it Sam Antha Wasp Perfect? Is it more about like a wasp that was named Sam Antha? Sam Antha Wasp, and then what fact? I'm so fucking stupid. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm going to stop this here for a sec. This is very cool and very fun, and it makes me feel things, and that's great. It's somehow very loud and very quiet at the same time. I don't understand it. I'm trying to wrap my mind around it. It's like, technically speaking, it's very loud. You know, I can't add any loudness to it. I can't master it any louder with just like pure limiting. But it just doesn't sound quite so. It just doesn't sound loud. I'm not quite sure what it is. Maybe I need to turn my speakers up. One sec. Imagine that was the issue. It's not, by the way, but imagine if it was. I think maybe, yeah, I think verbatim is right. I think the sub range is going a bit hard, and that's limiting how loud everything else can be. So let's just pull that down a little bit and see what it sounds like. I also think it might have something to do with the side chaining. So like I think the side chaining is very it's like the kick drum is very short and punchy, but like the side chain is taking too long to come back up, right? And if we that's not what I wanted to do. Oh my god. Okay, I thought I broke things. I'm sorry, I'm failing at using a computer right now. I just wanted to open up Paint, but apparently that's too much to ask. So to me, this is what it looks like. It looks like you've got this kick that's like this, right? And it looks like your side chaining is going like this. Oh, I'm going to change color. That's an advanced technique. It looks like your side chaining is going down and then kind of like this. And I would probably make it, you know, a little closer to the shape of the kick drum or something. I think that that might also be contributing to how it doesn't quite sound as loud as it seems like it is, as weird as that sentence is. Anyway, let's keep going. So, okay. So I was just kind of showing off that my MS Paint skills were pretty close to what the kick actually looked like. So I think there's a few things. I think sub range is too loud, really limiting how loud you can get the track, because that sub range is just going to smoke the master limiter. I think the side chaining is too long and maybe too deep. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it's just too long. It just sounds like it's overreacting to the kick drum, if that makes sense. And then the next thing is the arrangement. I don't know if it, I know it's just an idea. Sorry, I need to close my mail client here. I'm assuming it's just a whip. Like, I'm assuming this isn't the final arrangement, but the arrangement didn't get me excited for each section. It almost just feels like, here's this section for a while. Oh, okay, now here's this section for a while. So I think like effects, building things up, having a bit more of a strategic arrangement, it would serve it well, because there's a lot of great stuff in here. You have the bones of a great song here. I just think now you need to arrange it like a song, like a journey, like take us places. And then, oh, now we're at that place, and now take that place away from us so that we can want that place back, you know? But yeah, technically wise, turn your sub down, probably reduce the release time on your side chain. And, yeah. Am I going on a date with a smoking hot blonde? Am I going on another date? Okay, well, she was a brunette. So what are you trying to do? Get me in trouble here? But she was smoking hot, and I'm definitely going to go on another date. Anyway, glad we covered that. Thanks for sending that in. It's very good. I really like this song, and I think that with some tweaks and a proper arrangement, it would be great. Okay, moving on. We got Singularity, FFX OST, the Splendid Performance Sample Flip. Cursed but cool. Okay. Oh. What the Okay, guys, I guess we're going to tune cars now. I'm a mess today. My mouse and keyboard skills. Get it while it's crack. Those are words. Okay, let's have a listen. Okay, before we move on, this sounds It sounds cool, but melodically, it's a little out there. Like, I'm not quite sure I haven't been able to grasp the chord progression or the melody. It I think it's because there's, like, the sample that you're flipping or whatever is very dense in terms of harmonics. Like, there's a lot of it's like a dense, almost like a jazzy chord, and you're, like, playing them, and then there's, like, a bass line, and there's a melody thing, and it's a little too arbitrary in the musical department. Like, at first glance, what's the audio version of a glance? At first, I don't wanna say listen, that's boring. There's gotta be an audio version of a glance, right? Anyway, whatever. At first glance, it's like, "Oh, this sounds great," but then you start listening and you're like, "I'm trying to figure out the chords, or I'm trying to figure out the melody," and it's a little. So you have da 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 like that thing, but then there's also this like swelling pad thing that's very harmonically dense. Um, and that's okay, but I think that if you just like reeled it in a little closer to like something a little easier to understand for people without a PhD in jazz, that would maybe be a good move. Let's keep going. So again, my previous notes apply to this as well. Listen, it's interesting and it's wacky and it puts me in a place and it takes me places and it's definitely it's unique and I'm just struggling to follow it musically. It just kind of sounds like it just sounds like musicians frolicking in a field unaware of each other or something, like they like the bass guys, just the bass lines having fun. It's like doing stuff, and the melody, the wee 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 thing is definitely certainly having a good time out in that field with some flowers and like pollen and shit. Um, but I'm not sure that they they necessarily are having the same kind of fun, and I don't think they're having fun with each other. I think they're just having fun on their own. Um, it kinda sounds like I'm on LSD or something, and I've never done LSD, but this kind of sounds like LSD. Um I just think that it's just a little too on the weird side for me personally, and specifically melodically. It's just a little too out there in that sense. From a technical sense, I think that I could kind of hear like this like sound design bass going whoa wow 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 wow, but it's so low in the mix that it's kind of a weird placement for a sound like that. And I don't even know if a sound like that necessarily fits in the song. Wow wow wow. It's like a wub kind of thing. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not hating on it. It's a fun song to listen to. It's fun and it's interesting. It's just it's almost like you have 2 coupons to use for weird things, you know, like you could have like a weird pad, but the other stuff is a little closer to a traditional kind of melodic, you know, structure. So, like, instead of having, like, 2 weird coupons, you cashed in, like you've been, like, saving up for, like, 3 years, and you have, like, 14 weird coupons, and you're cashing them all in at the same time, so that everything in this is just a little on the weird side, but also you could tell me to go fuck myself, and I would listen. So, take that with a grain of salt. I like the way this sounds, I just wish I could follow it melodically a little bit better, and I think if you were to try and strip things back to a bit more simplistic place, melodically and harmonically, and then build it back up from there, maybe that's the way forward. But it's interesting, it sounds nice, I just don't fully understand it melodically. Okay, cool, thank you for sending. Wow, this is oh, never mind. I was like, wow, this is a short one for cheese. Actually, this is a short one for cheese. Okay, next up, we're going to listen to Swiss Cheese, When the Sun Sets, drum and bass mix. Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm sorry, I deleted it. Okay, this is cool, but where's the sub bass? Like, there's nothing going on the bottom end except the kick. And is it 174 beats per minute? Let's find out. Oh, where did the ozone go? Sorry, one sec. Okay, so let's figure out what tempo it is. I didn't want a sub because it didn't feel right. That is a, hey, valid feeling, but also I don't want to tell you that the way that you're feeling is wrong, but it's not the way that I feel. And if you're looking for an outside opinion, that's how I feel. 174. Is it 174? This is not 174. I don't. Oh, wait. Sorry. You're right. I'm wrong. Okay. So let me just see what this sounds like with a very basic sub. Bobby Bob. Why did I say it like that? I don't know. Let's figure out the notes. We got a B. So it starts with a B. Yes. C sharp D. Okay, it's a little spicy on the rhythm. That's cool. E? That's like the harmony, my friend. Maybe this is the problem. Yeah, but you're wrong. Like, am I wrong? Oh, no, you're right. I'm sorry. Can you copy and paste it again and I'll just follow you? I'm sorry, I'm a mess today. Just send me that again and I'll do it. Just Yeah, I get it. I'm sorry. You're right. A B D A. Okay. A B D A. Okay, I think I got it. I think I got her. Fucking, I'm dumb. I'm sorry. Here we go. And I'm also dumb rhythmically, apparently. Oh, you didn't give me the last transition note. What is it? D. What's the very last note? Just tell me so that I don't do it wrong again. Whatever. Tell me the last note or don't. F sharp maybe. F sharp megabyte. All right. Let's just rock this. Let's have a listen. How does that sound wrong? It sounds right to me. It sounds better to me. It feels like we have something down there. I also think your vocals are buried. I mean, they're louder than they have been, so you're going in the right direction, but they're still buried. Like, they still need to come. We need to hear the vocals. They sound good. They're just very quiet. Jesus, let me try to find a bit. I also, like, I don't mind your snare, but I think your drums need some embellishment. Even if it was just like what do I have? Temple. Oh, I'm not in the right thing. Loops. I think I have like Temple of Breaks or something. I don't do a lot of drum and bass or like any. That actually might not be a bad. Okay, here we go. Let's see what this sounds like. Okay, maybe not a loop. It just, to me, like, I appreciate the tight, small drums, but they just need a little. They just need a little bit else, a little bit more, a little bit additional, as some people say. Liquid L. I think I have. Do I have liquid? Man, I can't even figure out the fucking alphabet today. Liquid. I think it mostly needs ear candy stuff at this point. It definitely needs a sub, and it needs some, like, ear candy. And I'm definitely not in the right area at all. But I'm trying, and, you know, that's really all you can ask of me. I swear to God I had. Let's just see what this sounds like. Maybe every once in a while you give us a fucking clap or something. This might actually just work as like a clap. Yeah, Grim, I'll put yours up if I can remember how. There. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I think it's just I think it just needs more elements. I think it needs a sub and it needs more elements, and I think the vocals need to come up. And I also think you need to again, I'm not a big fan of just dropping out to mostly piano chords. Yes, you have a little dingly ding thing that's happening. But I don't know, like you got the pace, you got the energy flowing, and you were in a groove, we're enjoying it, we're vibing, as the kids say. And then all of a sudden you take that away from us, and I think that's not the I don't think that's a move. I think keeping the energy going even through the breakdown, like, you got to ask yourself, what is this breakdown achieving? You know, what value is this breakdown adding to the, I don't know, to the track? Is it adding anything? Is there a reason to have this breakdown here, or should you just and fuck off with the halftime, Jesus. That's what I feel. This is how I feel about the halftime. So anyway, now, of course, that's just my opinion. But again, this style of music, I think, is like, I think this style of music you need to get into, like, the groove and the vibe, and yes, you can pull things away, and you can break down, and you can build up, and you can crescendo, and there can be movement, but you need to be more responsible with the groove, with allowing us to get into that groove and nurture that groove and experiment with the groove and elaborate on the groove. You know, like, the groove is the whole part of this, and I just feel like breaking down to just piano is detrimental to the groove. If the vocals were really pushed up and they were, like, cool and delayed and shit, like, they would serve a much better purpose if they were louder in the mix. Those are my thoughts. I think it's a cool track. Good job. I hope that helps. All right, we got Grim up next because he asked and I said yes. Color base ID, placeholder vocals. Okay. Oh, let me turn off ozone, or at least undo the doings. You didn't see that. Okay, here we go.
When I'm scared, I find myself thinking about you. You're out there and I'm alone in this room. I wonder what you're doing now, and if you think about me too. 'Cause I'm always thinking about you. Still dream about you. I can't stop, I still dream about you. My heart beats so lonely without you. I'd climb mountains to get you here with me. Still dream about you. I can't stop, I still dream about you. My heart beats so lonely without you. Mountains to get you here with me. Still dream about you.
What's up? This is not my song, and I don't know if it's going to be on Newgrounds. I hope that helps. I think this is cool. I think I like where this is going. I think the vocals are a bit boxy, like down in kind of in that range. I'd probably pull. Like I'd have an EQ curve that probably looks like this on top of your vocal chain, or if there's something that, and yeah, I understand they're placeholders, maybe they'll go away, whatever, but I'm still gonna use this as an example. But yeah, the vocals are too heavy here and they're a bit too dull, but it might have something to do with your processing. Maybe your reverb is really emphasizing that kind of frequency range, right? Anyway, whatever. Let's keep going to the drop section. I do think that the buildup was a bit like yeah, there's a snare roll, but like everything else, the track didn't feel like it was building. It just kind of like there was a couple build elements in it. And I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure the drop is about to hit, but I shouldn't think to myself, I'm pretty sure the drop is going to hit. I should think to myself, oh my fucking God, I hope the drop fucking hits, you know? And that's kind of what it's missing right now for the buildup is it just isn't getting me amped up. It's just kind of like, it's like this. We'll go back to Paint and like this is what the energy level feels like. Fuck it, I'll leave it red. You're like, boom, you know, and then it goes up like this, and then it's kind of like drop. like there was no kind of, you know, we didn't have much of this. It just kind of was, it just came up to the build section before the drop, and it just kind of plateaued until the drop hit and the little fake out Rayhem thing, and then we got the boom drop. So I would probably figure out, and that's not just necessarily adding effects. It might be taking stuff away. It might be, there's lots of creative ways. I'm just letting you know that I wasn't like losing my mind, you know, wanting the drop so bad to happen. You know, I was just like, I think it's going to happen. And then it happened. And then when the drop happens, I find that the stereo field is not being used to its full potential. The drop is cool, and I like the sound design, and I like the rhythm of everything, but it feels very claustrophobic in the middle of the stereo range. It feels very congested, and it almost sounds like it's mostly mono, and then you kind of spread it out after the fact, like I don't know, maybe adding a room reverb or a delay or a chorus or unison or something like that. Like those are all fine things to use, but to me, it just sounds like it was like a mono song that was kind of like made to be a bit more stereo. It doesn't really sound like there was strategic placement of the elements in the stereo range. Let's keep going.
Still dream about you when I'm
Is that is that something is that something from one of my songs? Anyway, I don't care if it is. I'm just curious because it sounds familiar in a intimate way. Anyway, okay, here we go. We're going.
still dream about you when I'm scared. I find myself thinking about you. You're out there and I'm alone in this room.
So I think the drop section sounds great besides the stereo thing that I was saying. This kind of drum and bass-ish kind of thing, all of a sudden the drums are like really quiet, but like the bass and everything it's almost like some elements didn't.
This room. I wonder.
Yeah, I'm not saying you didn't. I was just wondering because it's something about it. I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's something about it that just reminds me of something that I've done. I don't know what would be from your tracks. Well, it wouldn't be the first time that there were some elements from some of my tracks in your tracks. So it's not like it's a totally unfounded statement. Anyway, this section, it just like, it's like some of the elements didn't get the memo that the drop was over, and some elements did get the memo that the drop was over, if you know what I mean. Like some of the elements are still like rocking, like the bass and stuff is still like full power, but then the drums are kind of pulled back a little bit, and the vocals are there, suggesting that we're kind of in a breakdown section. But it kind of is having a bit of an identity crisis because I can't quite tell if this is still supposed to be a drop or if we're into some sort of breakdown or something, you know?
Lonely without you. I'd climb mountains to get you here with me. Still dream about you. I can't stop. I still dream about you. My heart beats so.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that it is a breakdown, but what I'm trying to say is that like not all the elements sound like they were notified that hey guys, it's the breakdown now. It's time to chill out a bit, and then like the bass player's still in the back just headbanging with like really long hair, and everybody else is just kind of like looking at him like this is the verse, it's the time for the vocals, but the bass player is still fucking rocking out. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I think it sounds good. I like where it's going. I hope that those notes help, and I look forward to hearing it with the not placeholder vocals. Cool. All right, moving on. We got Velcode Nora version 9, 140 beats per minute. Aw, I got the tempo. Nice. Research. I don't know what's going on with me today. Honestly, I had a decent amount of sleep last night. I don't know why my brain is doing the things that it's doing, but it is. So we'll just have to deal with it. Let's have a listen.
What do I have to do to win your love? What have I got to prove? It's never enough. What do I have to do to win your love? What do I have to do to win your love?
Okay, this is very cool. This is powerful and loud, and it's rocking, and that's good. I do think that if you look over here and you watch this during the drop section, the sub bass is kind of rocking, and then we have this big dip, and then the rest of the song. And if you listen to it with that in mind, I think you'll find that the song is, it sounds kind of like it's been added, or yeah, it sounds like it's been added on top of the sub, or the sub's been added under the song. Like they don't, and it's not terrible, but there could be some more connection happening between the sub range and the rest of the song. It just kind of feels the sub feels a little loud, and then the rest of the song is happening up top, and I just feel like there could be a little bit, I don't know if it's like maybe bringing the volume of the sub down, but allowing it to have a bit more overtone to it, maybe distorted, or if it's a sawtooth or a square that you've low passed, maybe open that up a little bit. Just allowing the sub bass to bleed into the rest of the song and the higher harmonics, I think would help with that. And I do think that the sub is just a little too loud in general, because if you brought it down, you could probably push the song louder. I think the sub is definitely limiting how loud you're able to get this thing, and this is one of those things where you want it to be loud. So let's keep listening. And yes, I review anything. You could send me in a spoken word poem, and I would review it. So you could send me whatever, just as long as it's not really super offensive or contains nudity somehow. There's also something that just bothers me a little bit about that last chord. I made note of it when I was listening to it in the intro. Na, na. There's tension there's tension in the dissonance of that last chord that doesn't get resolved. It just it almost feels like I'm holding in a sneeze. You know, if I was better at music, I'd be able to tell you exactly what to do. But that last chord has some dissonance and some tension in it that doesn't get resolved, and it feels weird to me. You can have that tension, but I think you have to. Am I gonna be able to figure it out? Unlikely. Am I gonna try? I guess. I think it's a D sharp. Or maybe it's... Yeah, it's kind of like... Yeah, okay, I think this is what it is, and I might be wrong, but I think you're playing a C sharp, a D sharp, and an F sharp. And I want it to go to... I want to hear the E, but you're not giving me the E. Anyway, don't listen to me about music. I don't really know a whole lot. Another thing that I kind of like, if you notice when I first listened to it, I went back and I found out where the drop started, because to me, the drop, it feels like it needs a B section. It feels like it feels like when you break down, I wasn't ready to be broken down yet. I think that you almost need a B section of the drop that maybe is a little bit more melodic. It sneaks a little bit more of the melodic elements in and plays with them a bit more, because it just sounds like you've built this up, this big long build, you've prepared us for this drop, you give us this sound design drop, and then you go right back to a breakdown. It feels a little soon to me both times, because we have like we have this much build and then this much drop, and we're right back. It's almost like we didn't earn this breakdown. And I felt the same way this time. When the drop ended, I was like, oh, okay. You know, I guess we're breaking down again. Like you could make a B section out of what I'm assuming is an outro. I think this is probably going to be an outro. Let me just see. Fuck. Let's see what this sounds. Like if you basically took this outro and de-outrified it, you know, like kept the energy up a little bit higher, but based a B section of a drop, you could probably use that. You could probably use that in both of these sections, and like variations of it or whatever, you know, this could be the drop. Whatever, like I'm not really doing it properly, but I'm just kind of fucking around. Anyway, I would try making that the B section of each drop, and obviously build it like having it more developed so that it doesn't feel like such a drop in energy. It should just feel like a shift in energy to a different energy, to the B section of a drop energy. But besides that, it sounds pretty dope. I would maybe experiment with that last chord a little bit, and I definitely would highly suggest putting a B section of the drop and basing it off of that. Cool. All right, let's move on. We got near do well, near do well. That sounds like that sounds almost like something from a Shakespeare play or something. Near do well. Here we go. I don't know who made it.
Do you feel it in your chest? The ache, the beat, the impending melody of pain and hopelessness. I want you to tell me what you feel. I want you to feel what I feel. I want you to feel what I feel.
This is dope, but like where are the drums at, you know? Like I think that this needs it needs drums. Like
You to feel what I feel.
what tempo is it? What the fuck tempo is it? I don't know. Let's just slap some dirty old drums on it and see what happens. I like this is sick. It's so weird and dark and makes me feel like I need to wash my hands maybe, but it doesn't. It just needs like I don't know. Please don't think that these are the correct drums for it. I'm just spitballing here. But like, what if this snare was super distorted or something? Okay, this is getting there. I mean, like, at the very least, I think it should have drums something like this, and then some top drums. Oopsies. But I do think a clap. Well, I kind of made that snare a clap by distorting the shit out of it. But anyway, whatever. It proves my point, I think, or my idea anyway. I think that the track needs more variation. It needs drums and variation, because although I do really dig the spooky vibes and all the weird shit that's happening, it just doesn't hold my attention at a certain point. All the way up, like I didn't have a hard time listening through this, even though it was a little long-winded. It didn't really bother me until it got to the drop, and then it was just being ground, you know, like, and which is cool. But I think it just overstayed its welcome without any sort of variation, or like a yoink here or there, or like a little like drum fill or something, or like a percussion thing that picks it up. It just, it's a cool idea, but you can't just keep doing just that idea. You have to elaborate. There needs to be more elaboration, right? But it's super cool, and I think that this is a very unique track. I just think that if you had better drums, more drums, and more variation, it would be a much better track. But keep going, and feel free to send it in with more stuff added to it. Cool. All right, moving on. We got Multi Fox Distraction. This looks very loud. Let's have a listen. Okay, so we need like effects. We need like a whoosh and a pshoo. We need you know what I mean? Like, you need more effects to identify the different sections. So it's in D. Why are you playing this D when you could be playing? I think that the sub could go down an octave. I think that's what I missed when it finally dropped. So if I back it up, I'm just gonna play that D underneath it. That was just me playing. And it was like way better. Like way better. Put that fucking D down an octave, baby. That it's got to be down an octave. This is objectively correct. That snare drum legitimately scared me. Jump snare, that is so good. That's such a good portamento. It's not really a portamento, but yeah, it's a pun. But yeah, like just like, you'll see me click this D. It's going to be so much better with that low D. That's it. I think it's cool. It's a cool chiptune track. I really dig it. I just like put that D down. Put that D down. I would also turn that snare down a bit because the snare really scared me and I don't like being scared. I guess I kind of like being scared. It makes me feel alive. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Put the D down and profit. Cool. Thanks for sending. What do we got next? King Cobra Live Proxima. Live. King Cobra Live Proxima or Prozyma. Anyway. Is that just really low frequency? Because I have a very good sound system in here, and I cannot feel. Let me just put my hand on the speaker. Yeah, why not have the kick be an audible frequency? Like, it's... I can feel my speaker. It's doing about 3 hertz. And why not do this? Here's what I would do. What'd you say the tempo was? 140? Is that 140? Why not have everything that's there, keep it, but high pass your whatever the rumbly kick sound, whatever this is, high pass it, get rid of that inaudible noise, right? So if I send this to a track and I high pass, so... Yeah, okay, so audibly, I'm not noticing really any difference, and I just cut out from 60 hertz down. Now, what if it had like a kick drum that was audible, you know? I don't know, some like techno something. It doesn't have to be like, you know, it doesn't have to be like a bass house kick, but it could be like a... maybe that. I don't know. I'm not saying this is the right one, but let's just do this. And then maybe have like some off bass or something, you know, I don't know, something like this. I think that's the move, man. If you're going to go into this techno direction, I mean, like, I thought it was sick as a trap beat. Wherever the trap beat went. Oh, back here. I think it works as a trap beat. And I'm not saying that you can't do like a trap beat that turns into a techno thing and you can experiment and do cool shit. But I just found like when it got to that kick drum, I liked the sound of it, but there was nothing happening in my sub. Like there was no sub happening because it was just so, it was like seriously like fucking 1 hertz. Like if you look at, hold on, not that. Like it's down. I don't even think this is representing it properly. It's very, very low. In fact, let's try it this way. Let's take the whole song, put it up 7 semitones. Yeah, so like if I put it up like a whole octave, all of a sudden the kick is audible. But it's I don't know. What are these ads? I'm just trying to hear some dubstep. That's funny. Yeah, those are my thoughts. I think it's a sick track. I think it would work as a trap song by itself. If you want to do the techno thing and you want to keep that like that dirty, rumbly, noisy shit, keep it, but replace the sub bass with something, or not the sub bass, but the sub range. Replace it with something that speakers can produce and human ears can hear. You know, maybe like a chupacabra or something could hear that, but I can't. Yeah, okay, that's what I have to say. It's cool. I like it. Maybe try other stuff with the sub range. Cool. All right, we got Inmate Already Dead remix. I like how you've replaced certain letters with numbers. That's neat. Oh, let me just go ahead and not destroy this song. One sec. There we go. And undo all of this jazz. Okay. Okay, why are we in Creepyville now? Why all of a sudden are we everything is creepy and scary?
This is the end! The ghost and the wire is out of control! This is the end! Don't beg for your life! Take it from me, I was already dead! Just give it to control of me! So low.
Nice man.
Okay, I see what you're going for here. The drums are... Oh, somebody subbed? Thank you. I need to be a better streamer and know how to... What? Hold on. Let me see. Yeah. Isn't there a way for me to like have it pop up and be like, this person subscribed? And then I can be like, oh, thanks Stinky Feet for subscribing or whatever. Just somebody tell me who subscribed and then I'll thank them. 6 gift subs. Twitch. Open up Twitch on my phone. I'm opening up Twitch on my phone. Did I just hear a Michael Jackson hee hee? Thank you, Aiden, for subscribing a month ago. No. I'm gonna figure out how to make it pop up. Thank you, Will, for gifting 6 subscriptions. I appreciate that. I will give you a bunch of 856A1 next Tarkov raid we do in payment. All right. So this song, the drums are non-existent. Like I don't hear the kick. I don't hear the kick drum, and that is concerning to me. This needs a kick drum, right? I'm thinking that, and yes, thank you, Will, aka Kappa 1990 with a 0 at the end. Again. I can't tell where the kick is. Any guesses on the tempo of this? Sullivan King in a no drum meta. Okay, it's 150. Now, let's see what happens if I just let's put a kick and a snare. Let's do kick. There's a limit to what? A limit to gift subs? I'm just going to pick some well, not random, but I'm going to pick some somewhat random drums to put on this. Or night. Thank you, and I hope you gain value when you watch it. Okay. Okay, here I go. I'm gonna add drums to this and see what we get. Let's do this. We got a kick and a snare. I'm gonna do my own little side chainings like this. Cool. Let's hear how that sounds. Oh, I did the wrong FL thing. Here we go. So this is an idea. This is what I think it should maybe sound kind of like maybe. So low. Anyway, do that. Something like that. I think that sounds a lot better. That's a dick move. Yeah, I think this track, the biggest thing with this track is the drums need to be pounding and the track needs to get out of the way when the drums hit. It's very noisy and aggressive, but that might just be the style of the track, right? Oh, it's halftime here. My bad. Disabled. I like FL, but that's just me. Let's see what it sounds like if I do it halftime. Here we go. Shit. Fuck. Whoops. My bad. That was the build-up. Oh, fuck. See, like, with just a better set of kick and snare, all of a sudden the track is so much heavier and better. And this is by no means the right kick or snare. These are just audible kick or snare. Let's try it. Let's put a little tail on this one. Anyway, I think dude, start with that. Start with more sidechain, louder, more powerful drums, and go from there. This isn't DNB, it's just NB. That's fucking actually funny. That's a good joke. Yeah, I think that's what it needs. That's at least a good place to start with getting this thing on track for where it needs to go. But I think that's a good place to start. Cool. All right, let's move on. That was Inmate. Let's check out Adexi. Did I also do stuff? No, I didn't. Okay, let's have a listen. Okay, let's stop this for a sec. This is sick. I like the intro. I like the drop. What I didn't like is how you got from the intro to the drop. It just kind of happened. Like, I know there was a build up and there was a little aim and break thing happening, and that was, it's all good, but it didn't get me, like, I wasn't like ready to headbang, you know? It just kind of, the drop just kind of happened a little bit too unsubstantially. Don't know if that's the right word. I don't know if this is the right move here. The drums kind of just, like, the track is so fucking sausage thick that the drums just kind of sound like little ticks on top. Like the snare's like, do, cat, do, cat, do, cat, do, cat. Yeah, I don't know what purpose this section serves. You know, I'm not sure what this is. Is this a drop? Is this part of the build? You know, I don't really know that this section is achieving a whole lot, to be honest. Let's what's the tempo? Is it Dexy in the chat? I don't know. Is it like full on drum and bass tempo? No. Let's get this lined up and figure out what the tempo. I just want to see what it sounds like if we just straight up cut that section out. Down, down. Okay, that's on the upbeat. Is it 100? Why can I not figure this out? Slower. Faster. Whatever. I'm just gonna do it visually because I'm blanking on the tempo. Like this, although I feel like I might have got it at the very end at 170, but anyway. So instead of going to this breaks section, I think it is 170, but whatever, who cares? Instead of going to the breaks section, we're gonna go to this. Maybe, I don't know. To me that the break section doesn't really do a whole lot. Like, it's just kind of there for some reason. I think this is the move, because now we have this like big heavy drop, then we have a breakdown, then it builds up into this. What I don't know which audio adjustment you're talking about. Oh, you mean shift it. Yeah, that's holding shift. If you hold shift and scroll. But if you're up here, it scrolls the whole clip. Like if I'm up here, see how it scrolls the whole clip? But if I'm down here, it scrolls just that. Favorite Jolly Rancher flavor? Watermelon, I think. Anyway, I think getting rid of that section is a good move. I think having the build-up be more hype, getting us hyped up more is going to be a good move. And then maybe having some sort of vocal or dialogue or word, like something sonata the drum step. I mean, that's cool. I like the name, but I don't know, or me. It doesn't necessarily need it, but it could use it. But I think the biggest thing is going to be make the build-ups build our anticipation up better, so that when we finally drop, we've got adrenaline flowing and we want to like punch ourselves in the nuts or something. And then also I would just get rid of that section and have like maybe just have it 2 drops and shape it a little bit better based on this new arrangement. Okay, cool. Next up we got I don't know, please leave a name to this by Cryotest. Here we go. I love this. I don't love that snare. That one's okay. It's the ding. I don't know. I don't really like it that much. Okay, what I would suggest you do is these sections are all very cool, but if you take out the sub and listen to it, I think it's going to feel quite empty. I'm not hearing a whole lot of musical elements, which is kind of funny coming from probably one of the best musicians in this community. Everything that's in there is super cool. All the sound design stuff is cool. I don't really love the snare, but that could be a taste thing. I think you need to get some more melodic elements in there. Like notes. I think it needs more notes. You have like the strings and the pads, and those are cool, but I want more notes to chew on, not pads to swim in, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Besides that, I mean, like the drums are obviously sick. They sound like some sort of high school marching band from hell that has been chewed up by a computer and spit back out. And that's cool. And like I said, everything in there is cool except the snare. But it just needs more not high frequency, but like tonal things in it. It needs more beepity boopities or like a little melody or something. I think that's what it's missing. Besides that, it's sick, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. Okay, cool. Moving on. We got Walking Through Fire, VIP. Okay, like this piano, I don't mind what it's doing, but the piano itself sounds like it reminds me of this thing called Aisha, which was like a big video when I was in high school before like YouTube was a thing. It just sounds like a low quality piano to me. Also, I'm going to take this second to let, I don't know because it won't show me your name, but I'm only going to play one submission from each person. So there's a couple people that submitted too, and I'm just going to play the first one. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. So the vocals are buried. No two ways around that. Melodically, it's great. It is Aiden. Melodically, it's great. I enjoy the song part of this, but the piano is just not a good sounding piano, and the vocals being very buried and super sidechain. I don't know that I don't think the dubstep route is the move here. I think more like house music build up. Was this always a dubstep song? For some reason, I thought that this used to be a house song when he submitted it in the past. There's something really weird going on with it might be the master compressor. You can hear every once in a while it'll be like ah. Oh, it's a VIP. Oh, thank you for reminding me what VIP standard for. Fuck, I'm an idiot. Okay. See, okay, right here, listen to the volume. It's like you know what I mean? Like there's something going on. There's something going on in the master. The master is having a bad day with what you are feeding it. It's very loud. I'm not hearing the music in the drop. I'm hearing like it's a bit of a mess harmonically. There's like so much stuff happening on top of everything. The only problem is the side chain. I don't think that's the only problem. I think there's more problems than that. I like the original track. I don't really, not to say that you can't make VIPs and they're perfectly viable and whatnot, but it just, when it gets to the drop, it just is so of the whole original track sidechain than all of my VIP elements. I feel like you have access to the stems. I think you know who has the stems. So you might be able to work with the stems. Not to say that sometimes it's fun to, do a bootleg of your own stuff or whatever. But I'm just saying that there's something weird going on. VIP is variation in production. It's like when you take your song and you create a new version of it. You lost the project. Well, that might be a hint that maybe this is not the song to do a VIP of. That sucks that you lost the project, though. I do really like the original project, though. Yeah, so that explains a few things. Like, I feel like you have the vocals turned down because if you turn them up, the rest of the original song gets too loud. So this could just maybe be a technical limitation of what you have access to, in that you don't have access to the original project to get the stems. Now, one thing I do, and maybe you should start doing, is when I finish a song and release it, I stem it out, and a lot of labels make you do that anyway. Like that's part of the releasing procedure. I do it so that I can put the stems up on my Discord channel so you guys can fuck around with them. But also it's great because sometimes, yeah, maybe a song I made 8 years ago on 3 computers ago, it doesn't open properly on my new computer or something. I'll always at least have the stems, and I can always at least make like a remix or a mix variation or a VIP or whatever if needed. Most of the time I do it for like TV reasons, but things isolating. There are ways around it. You can flip things while isolating the vocal. Yeah, but like at that point, what are you trying to achieve? Like the original track was good. I don't want to sound like I'm telling you not to make this song, right? But to me, it just kind of sounds like you took the song and made it dubstep. Like there's just too much stuff happening at the same time. There's like wub, 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 and then there's like this crazy, is it piano? Sounds like there's something going like there's just so much stuff and it's just all piled on top of each other. So it's hard to listen to any individual part. Because there is, yeah. Well, that's the problem. I don't know, man. I think I don't really see a purpose for this myself. Could you maybe turn it into a dubstep bootleg VIP? Maybe, but the way it stands now, there's just way too much stuff on top of each other for it to be viable. Makes room for what I have. That's new. That I think that you're maybe setting yourself up for failure because you have the original track. There's no amount of EQing or tricks that you can do to that original track that's just going to make room for a whole dubstep thing, unless you like cut a little section out, like repeated it and used it as like a sample, like you were sampling it. But you're going to have a really hard time technically when you're trying to take this track and turn it into this without the stems. It's fixing the volumes and mixing. I think it goes beyond just mixing and volume and stuff like that. It's just like, in order to make this work, you'd have to pull out a lot of those original elements, because you can't just EQ, like pull some 5K out to bring the sound of the piano down. Like that's not really gonna work. So I'm just trying to, I don't know. I'm just trying to let you know that you got your work cut out for you, and maybe it's possible. But if it were me, hey, I clicked that by accident. This is just me. And that's not there we go. And we're back. If it were me, I wouldn't even attempt to do it because I just don't think it's going to be possible, technically speaking, to make this work as is. Feel free to prove me wrong. I just don't know if it's worth the amount of effort. And the good thing is, every minute you spend fucking around with this shit, you're gonna get better. Like that's just how it works. That's how it works. So it's not like you're wasting your time. You're learning. Every time you do this, you're learning. Even if this is a bit of a mess because of technical reasons, you're still growing as a producer and learning things. So anyway, sorry if that wasn't very helpful, but to me, I don't think this is a viable project to pursue. All right, moving on. Let's check out Stink, unknown song named Sadly Work in Progress song. That is a lot of words. Let's just do this. Okay, here we go. Is this better, Raham? Do you feel more comfortable with me like this, like real up close and personal? I think I'm going to maybe I'll split the difference. There's that, and then there's this. No, I feel like you guys are gonna kiss me on the cheek or something. All right, let's have a listen. So there's a couple technical things happening here. There's like the cymbals kind of sound like they're going. Oh my god, that bass player is on fucking crack. It's probably the OTT on it. Oh, yeah, that could be a problem. I don't know what's going on in your master bus, but there's something that's causing it's almost sounding like phase. It sounds like phase or something. How much money for feedback? Guys, have I been doing this wrong this whole time? I don't charge money for providing feedback. I just do it every Friday for reasons. Anyway, there's some phasing issues happening here. I'm trying to understand what it is. Like you can kind of see the phase, like this dip in the spectrum. Wait, why isn't it playing? So if we look at it, and I just saved it. This is likely. Shut the fuck up, Raham. No commands work. The commands don't work. Raham will tell you to try everything. You got to go to the link that's right beside my right. I don't know how to do this. Right there. You're gonna go to that link and submit it. Anyway, this shape on the spectrogram, this is like, it's like a comb filter, and I think there's some. Do you have like a wet, dry? Thank you, Kaidi. I appreciate the fact that you appreciate it. Do you have like a wet, dry knob that's halfway or something? There's something going on causing this shape. Like, I think you may have added some stuff that has, that's actually great. That is a good idea, Raham. That might be the best Raham idea you've had. Anyway, I think you might be doing something. It's not like you need to do something. It's like you need to not do something. I think you might have something in your master bus. It sounds mostly like it's in the drums. Oh, you found out the reason. That's great news. We could try to set that up one day. Honestly, I really should take this more seriously and do more streamer things. Like if you donate $1, a flamethrower will light the back of my hair on fire or something. Okay, Stink, tell us what the problem was so we know. I also don't know about the key changes here. It's kind of throwing me off a little bit, to be honest. Let me get rid of this average. There we go. Tangia Donuts. Tangia. That's some Michael Reeves shit. Yeah, I get shocked by a taser. The key change is a little weird to me. This part is cool. This part is cool. The built-in. Like, okay, if we ignore all that and listen to this is like some PS2 sounding shit, and I like it. To me, this song sounds like it's a bunch of ideas that you are playing around with, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I would not put OTT on your master until you have gotten to the point where you understand exactly what it does and you can make that choice informed properly, right? Okay, so like this ending part is sick. It sounds massively unrelated to the rest of the song, but I like this ending part a lot more than I like the rest. It's the weird resonance that makes it PS2. Yeah. I dropped on production feel, I think. Okay. You gotta drop it in the go to feedback stream and go to February 16th and put it there. Or I guess I could probably just find it. One sec. Nah, you gotta make it like you gotta drop a file for me to download. I'm not gonna go to SoundCloud or any links or anything. You gotta drop a file. But I do it every Friday. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I think figuring out what your issue was with the drum to create that weird phasing sound, if it is just like an EQ being massively changed, but also, you know, send me a picture of your master bus. And I think what it comes down to is if you're a beginner producer or you're not super experienced, adding more stuff is rarely a good move because every time you add something that you don't fully understand, you're leaving it up to chance because you're just kind of and we've all been there. You leave it up, you just twist stuff and you're like, what does this do? You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, keeping it simple is a lot easier for you to measure because say you have 25 different plugins that are all fighting each other. You've got some that are adding high frequencies. You've got some that are subtracting high frequencies and you're changing, you got 7,000 levers to pull. It's really hard to learn when you have so many levers to pull. It's better if you keep it simple. Just maybe put a limiter in the master bus when you start out, just so that you're not peaking or whatever. Don't worry about making it super duper loud. Focus on maybe the song creations, focus on sound design, focus on melody or whatever. Pick things and focus on those things and don't overwhelm yourself with like a trillion plugins or like OTT and Ozone and Imager and, you know, like all these things on your master bus because you see other people on YouTube using them or saying that that's how you make your mix loud, blah, blah, blah. It's better to have your mix be too quiet than be too loud. And it's better to only have a few levers to pull so that when you pull them, you know exactly what's happening and you can learn from that experience. I think that's what I got to say for this one. Okay, let's move on. We got a couple left. We got Rainy Night by I'm Not Sure. Here we go. I'll pause this for a second just to reply to this. Johnny said, really listen to the changes the knob makes one by one. So the only problem with that is, say, for example, you have a volume knob, but you're going into a compressor. Well, you might push that volume knob up and the compressor might be undoing it by bringing the gain back down because you've hit the threshold. Now, all of a sudden, you're only moving one lever, but the compressor is fighting what you're doing on that one lever. So yes, you're only moving one thing, but you're not getting the full picture. And if you don't understand that the compressor is reducing the gain, then you're like, why isn't the volume going up when I push the volume knob up? And that's kind of more what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's get back to this track. This is very, very cool. What's the tempo? Because I want to do... Is it 170 halftime? No. Oh, it's close to 170 halftime though. 168. So this is what this is missing. This sounds amazing. It needs bass. It needs bass for us to really feel like it's full, you know? It's fine. I got the tempo. Since C. Is it? I don't know what the notes are. I'm struggling to figure them out. But like all this needs is like seriously like a bass line. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. If you want to throw, oh, you did it. Okay, I'll grab it. Grab your track. Sorry, I'm scatterbrained right now. One sec. F sharp. Well, it's C. It's just C. It's just C, A sharp, C. Yeah, like it sounds dope. It just sounds it sounds like you got all of the piano you need. Now you need to make the rest of the song, right? Like it honestly it sounds really good. It just needs that like bass line, especially when it goes down to like the G sharp. Like there's so many great bass line like bass notes that you could play, chord progressions that complement what's going on in the top end with the piano. But it's really it's a really nice track. And you switch it up. Oh, I don't have the next part. But yeah, it's cool. It needs bass. That's pretty much all I got to say about it. Thank you for sending. All right, T65 by somebody who knows. And then I got one more, and then that's it. Okay, so I'm on my phone. I had to do it. Wave to MP3. That's fucking funny. Yeah. Sorry, dude. I'm all full for today, but I do it every Friday, and you can hop on the Discord and submit it next week. Because I'm getting really hungry and I'd like to eat at some point. So like, I like this as a techno track. Obviously, the first thing I noticed is that it only went to about 15 kilohertz. So that's why I checked out the bit rate. And yeah, okay, that's a technical limitation of whatever you used on your phone. That's fine. We can listen past that. Is there any reason why there's all this headroom? That's my question, I guess, right now. He's like he wants to play Tarkov. Funny. So I feel like that the bass sound that's in there, the rumbly bass sound, it sounds like it's not playing the root note. Like I know it's like techno and like notes are kind of a touchy subject. But I feel like what we're missing is like this sort of frequency, and maybe it's added to it. Not that one. Hold on. Oh, you did it in C. I don't know. It's missing like a deep sub range because most of the energy is kind of in this frequency. It's like up as opposed to, and you might not be able to hear that depending on what you're listening it on, but it's almost like the majority of the energy in the bass is up an octave from where it should be. It also kind of sounds like the song is in the key of C, which is challenging. No, it's in B, which is even worse. Like, that's a really tough key to be in if that is the key, because I know this is kind of a fluid kind of situation in terms of techno, especially this style techno. But if you're trying to play B, it's too low, but then you play it up here, it's too high. So it'd be better if it was like, you know, like D or E or something. Yeah, B. Dude, B is a fucking tough. Don't just do yourself a favor, save it as a new version, and then change the key, put it up fucking 1, 2, 3. Put up 3 or 4 semitones, so like D or D sharp, and all of a sudden you'll be able to push that you'll be able to push that down an octave, and you'll be like, whoa, like there's the bass, you know. But B is very very challenging. It really do be like that though. Because honestly, besides the bit rate and the headroom, which I think this style of music needs to be slammed quite a bit. Okay, bye, Stink. Thanks for coming. Besides like that, this is a sick track. If we were able to get the like the depth, the deep sub, right? What about B minor where the relative major is D? I mean, thanks, dude. I appreciate it. I don't find those tricks ever work, Kadia. I know that some people like, you know, the wheel of fifths and all that stuff, but I don't find that ever works. It really just comes down to like, he's just playing the tonic. He's just playing the root note over and over again, which is, you know, that's how a lot of this music works. So if the tonic is B, playing the fifth or playing up or whatever, like I think it'll feel like we're constantly waiting for it to go down to the root note, right? So I think the better thing to do is just to try shifting it up to D or even shift it up 2 semitones to C sharp. You could do C sharp. That's only 2 semitones. It's not going to drastically change the sound of the track. It's going to take some getting used to when you first hear it for sure after changing the key. But yeah, B is such a tough track for bass music, or it's such a tough key for bass music because it's too low to be low and then it's too high to be high if you put it up. So come down to the root, and you always have to come down to the root. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, dude. I think that's my main feedback is, well, you can master this a lot harder, as you can see. I mean, like I've got 4 dB without doing anything tricky. I just brought this down. 8 subs today, new record. Well, 6 of them were Will, but $20? Oh my God, you guys just bought me dinner. Thank you. That actually means a lot for me. You just straight up bought me dinner, even though I try to give all my Twitch profits to Rayham and Eswin, my moderators. Anyway, that's what I got. that's what I think that's what I got for you. Try a different key, and then all of a sudden it might be like, whoa, all of a sudden this is deep, like, oh, there's the sub I was missing. Cool. And then push it a bit harder in the master. I think you can get away with that. All right, let's check out Deep MD2.
You make me feel like I'm losing control. I've never been so high, and just so you know, I don't
Kaidi, if you want to support me, just share this with some musicians that that might want to have their stuff heard or whatever. I would much rather just have more people involved and with this stream than just get money, honestly. But that, yeah, like just sharing this with people that you think would like to have some advice and would like to have their songs heard on the stream would be probably the best thing you could do for this. Anyway, so this is but I do appreciate the sentiment, and I do appreciate your willingness to support me financially. So thank you. So okay, this is very dreamy. I like the intro. I think the vocals were a little bit lost in the mix. Okay, I'll try to make some friends. That was the best response you probably could have said. Oh, it's funny. Okay, so when it got to the drop, I felt like, okay, here's the thing. Like, I checked the stereo field. Because check this out. Look at how lush this is. See how nice and like spread out and lush and atmospheric, and then the drop, it just almost collapses totally to mono. If we go to the drop, so like I don't necessarily dislike what the drop is doing, but it feels like I got out of it feels like I got out of a warm bath. Okay, this is the warm bath. And now I'm wet and I'm outside in the winter. Like that's the best way I can describe this. It just feels like the warmth has been stripped off of me. And it's mostly because of the stereo field, which is kind of good because there's like one main technical problem to solve here, and it's mostly using the stereo field in the most well-rounded way, making as much use of the real estate available that you can, and you are currently not. You're mostly sitting in the center, right? And if it wasn't for this super lushness, it wouldn't stick out as much, but it still would be an issue because there's all this area over here that you could place stuff in there, and then they'd have their own spot in the sound field to exist. My next thought is that the drop sections, they feel like they're all fills. Like it's almost like instead of like having a nice full meal and then having a dessert after, it's like somebody just gave you a plate full of Oreos. And like everybody loves Oreos. Oreos are fun and great, and they're wahoo, Oreos, right? Same with fills and like cool sound design stuff. Like they're great and people love them, but you have to use them as accents and you have to use them as little treats. To me, the drop is a little too starty stoppy for me to get into a groove because it's just kind of like constant influx of fills and fanciness and cool stuff. Like it loses its allure, which is the name of a strip club in St. John, because there's just too much of it. It's like too often, right? So to have a bit more of a groove and then drop those things in, like tease us with them and give them to us when we want them, not necessarily just here's all of my skills all at the same time, right? That's what I'm thinking. It kind of got a little bit more groovy here. Like I can finally kind of dun 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 dun. But at the start, wrong. It's primarily these ghost, like the pauses like that. Like I just think they're overusing fills. And that's not just to say drum fills. It's just anything that could be considered like a little fancy whoop-de-doo, check out this thing, you know? Like, I just think you're overusing that a little bit much. But yeah, my main concern is the stereo field and how lush and warm this section is versus how narrow and cold this section is. But it's cool, and I like it, and thanks for sending. Cool. We're going to move on to the last one of the day. Blah, 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 blah. This one is called 888, which is just a few houses down from the Beast.
Seasons change, sunshine
That last note, is that what he said? This is fucking sick, man. I really like this. So most of what I have to say about this mix wise is just that the vocals, like, I get that you're going for kind of that like almost retro rock vibe, but the vocals are still a little bit resonant in this kind of. And it's also, it might be more than the vocals. I'm wondering like what your what your monitoring situation is, because it kind of like this, it's lacking brightness, but there's too much high mids. So in my opinion, and of course it's very subjective, especially with this style of music, you know, it's more artsy. So it depends on what you're going for, but like we recorded on a cheap mics. Yeah. I mean like, but that doesn't necessarily, I don't think that's hurting you. I think it just requires a little bit, like I would rather just pull that frequency out in the vocal, not in the in the master, what I'm doing right now, right? Which you would have access to that I don't. Like that kind of frequency range up here, you know, 7K and above, I think it needs quite a bit more of that. Like I would even maybe go further. See, I'll play it and I'll go between what I've done and what was there before, and you'll hear, and I might have gone a little too far into the brightness, but like you'll hear a pretty big difference in the top end. So let me put it back here. Winter came, now it's gone black. But even the snare drum, you can really hear the brightness of the snare drum come out. And you might want to layer a tambourine with the snare drum, if nothing else, but to just add a bit more of like the track is very, the shape of the track is like, let's see here. If I go like this. This is what the track sounds like to me. It's kind of like this and then like that, right? And that's what I'm trying to undo. I'm trying to create a curve both with the EQ and with the compression and the multiband compression and stuff. I'm trying to like, you know, boost up the lows a little bit, do a big dip there, and then boost up. I'm trying to counteract. This is probably the shape of like your cheap microphone or something, you know, this kind of shape where it's got this big peak right around this frequency and then drops off steeply in the top end. That could be just the straight up frequency response of the microphone that you need to undo with an EQ. But then you also have to be careful. You might want to use a de-esser, because you're going to end up adding a lot of top end, and some of your S's might become very loud and sharp and painful. So you might want to do this, but then also I'm kind of doing it with this EQ, or sorry, with this dynamic, this multiband compressor. Winter came, now it's gone black. There's like a resonant peak in, probably, did you use the microphone for more than just the vocal? Because maybe if you use that same mic, I don't know what, like when you say we used a cheap mic, what was it, a dollar store mic? Was it an NT1A? Like cheap mic to some people is a very expensive mic to other people. So, but it's this like 4100 hertz. That's like that's where I'm really detecting this peak. And if you used a mic with a very resonant peak in it, and you used it on a bunch of different instruments, all those instruments are going to add up in that same frequency. And I think it's a little bit higher than what I had it set. maybe 5100 hertz. It's like right around here. Like, it's crazy the difference when I bypass this. Listen specifically, if you can train your ears to listen specifically here. Listen to that, and I'm going to play it and go back and forth.
Winter came, now it's gone black. And I felt the cold. You left me all alone.
Yeah, it's yeah. But like the track itself is really good. Like it's a really good song. It's very well performed and you guys are great musicians. It's just the technical constraint. But also this style of music kind of lends itself well to like a bit of a lo-fi vibe. So I'm not trying to turn it into this polished, produced pop song, right? You need to take out the offensive parts of being lo-fi, the resonant peaks, the stuff that hurts if you turn it up too loud, right? You can make the track sound clean and sparkly and get rid of those without making it sound overproduced. And that's something that I don't think you should do is overproduce this song. But like, maybe the chorus sections, you could bring in a shaker. And I don't think it has. Oh, it has the ride. Okay, so the ride is telling us like here's the chorus, right? And also the vocals and everything. But like there always has to be kind of some percussive change to tell us, hey, this is the chorus section. We got the ride that's adding the sparkly, and that's nice. But I still I don't know where my tambourine is, but I think that could be an interesting addition. Even if it is just a layer on top of the snare drum to spread the snare out into the bright area a bit more. But yeah, I think it's sick. It's a great song. I would put this in my Spotify liked playlist. So, and I'd listen to it while making pancakes. I think. I hope that is a good, I hope that you take that in a good way because that's how I meant it. Okay. Thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate the time you spend with me as you appreciate the time I spend with you. And I love all of you. And thank you for sending. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. I love you. I love you. And I love you. And also I love you. Okay, cool. Also, I'll if you want, I can render out this master and send it to you. If you want, feel free to use it for whatever. I don't give a shit. Okay. Have a good weekend and have fun and be safe. Bye.